It's time. You're ready to write an offer. I'm Shannon Marin with the Marin Marketing Team and eXp Realty. So we're ready to write an offer. Oh, it's the scary part now. We're actually putting pen to paper or electronic signatures, depending on how we do it. So, the terms of the offer. The first thing on the very first page that we're going to talk about is the price. Now, the price that you offer depends on the type of market we're in. If we're in a seller's market, likely you're going to pay near full price, or more than full price if you're competing against other buyers. If you're in a buyer's market, well, that seller might be a little bit motivated and we might be able to get you a little bit off the price. So those are things that we can talk about. The deposit. The higher the deposit, the better the offer looks. Now, not to worry about your deposit because it does go towards the purchase price. So it is to show goodwill and that you have some funds to back up your offer. If your offer didn't make it through to completion based on a poor home inspection or for some other reason, the deposit is going to come back to you. If you get all the way to removing your subjects and then you decide that, no, I found a house that I like better, well, you've already put your deposit in and the seller can now sue you for your deposit and not completing. So keep that in mind. When you're signing off, which we'll get to later, you need to make sure that this is the home for you. The next thing we're going to talk about is dates. When is the perfect date for you to move into that house? So that means you have to have your funding ready. We've gone through all the home inspection and all of the subjects, and you are picking the day that you want to get your keys. That's the same day that the money transfers hands, and once it does, I'm handing you the keys to your new home. Things we need to think about in the offer as well are what's included in the home. Generally, it will be appliances, but not always, so we have to write these into the contract. If you want the fridge and the stove and the washer and the dryer and the window coverings and the hot tub and maybe those nice pots that are out there, it can get really crazy with included items sometimes, but we need to make sure that we are writing these things in the contract because nothing can be assumed. On the other side, there may be things that the seller is excluding, and they'll let us know about that. They might not want to leave their appliances behind, or they might want to take their hot tub with them. So these are things that become negotiable items. The things that are attached to the home need to stay. So attached mirrors, attached plumbing, cupboards, anything that is screwed down will stay with the home unless specified elsewhere in the contract. Now we're going to talk about our subject conditions. So the general subject conditions on an offer is subject to financing, which we always put on an offer unless you have the cash sitting in the bank. This is never to be assumed that, oh yeah, I'm good for it. We want to make sure we have a subject to financing on there. You never know what's going to happen. Home inspection. Always a good idea to have a home inspection, even on a fairly new home. You never know that there might have been, some type of plumbing that they've used that's now out of date. There could be water in the crawl space. There could be an issue with the roof. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong with a house. So we want to know that the previous owners have done their maintenance and they've taken care of any issues that may have cropped up. Insurance. This is an important one because if you do not qualify to get insurance on your home, the lender will not release the funds. So it's very, very important that you get your insurance approval right away. And it's best to shop around. Insurance companies, they're all different. They're different rates. They have different requirements. So it's best to shop around and make sure that you can find the best terms to cover your insurance. So this is something we want to do to go and make sure that permits were in place, that there's no issues coming up with the neighborhood, that the sewer is connected, that the water is connected, all these kinds of things that are dealt with at the city level. So what we'll do is make an appointment with City Hall, and we will pull the file and we can go over the file together. And in the file, you'll also be able to find out where your gas line is located, where your water line is located, all those kinds of things. So very informative, and it's really something that everybody should be doing. Viewing the title and the property disclosure statement. So these are two very important documents. The title actually says that these are the rightful owners of the home. The title will also tell you if there's an outstanding mortgage on the home, so that we know that the sellers can actually clear the title. It will also tell you about any rights, any mineral rights, any logging rights, any railway rights, any crown rights. So those are things that are a whole other chapter, but once we view your title, we'll know the information that we need to go looking for. The property disclosure statement is filled out by the seller when selling a home. In this disclosure statement, he is to notify the buyers of any possible problems that he is aware about. It asks questions like, how old is the roof? What types of plumbing? Is it connected to sewer? Has there been any issues with rodents or insects? Has there been a grow-up in the home? So there's all kinds of things, and this property disclosure statement will form part of the contract so that the seller's answers are recorded for any future problems down the line where maybe the seller wasn't totally upfront. So that's it for the subjects, for the basic subjects. There might be some more things that are important to you on a personal level that we need to write in there. And there's all kinds of clauses to cover any kind of situation. After the subjects, the next thing we're going to talk about is acceptance time. Acceptance time is the time that we put on the offer that gives a time limit for the seller to respond. If the seller does not respond within the designated time frame, then the deal is dead unless we make modifications to extend the time to give the seller more of a time to think about the offer or talk to another decision maker or what have you. So we've written the offer, we've signed it all up, we've gone through any questions that you might have, and you're good with everything you've put on paper. We haven't left anything out. At this point, I'm going to deliver the offer to the listing agent and let him know that I've sent an offer over, and I've also included a great letter and a video from the buyers, you, that is going to help with your offer. It's just a little edge that we include to make sure that you have the best chance at getting your dream home.